Hey, welcome everyone to this new video tutorial about Unreal networking. So I'm opening up our to-do list and we were on the change color stuff and we managed to make the player entry. We made the player able to change their color while in the multiplayer lobby, but we weren't saving that color in the game instance. So we need to do that in order to retrieve that value and apply it to their character when they spawn in game. So I guess we are just going to check our outgame menu, so our main HUD, and we're going to get that color box, and when we press one of these buttons, check what we do. We're updating the button color, we're saving the color, we're setting the color on server, and there's where we need to save that name on the game instance. So basically we're going to get that game instance and we are going to say get player get net player lists get. And how are we going to do that? Well, that's pretty simple, I think. Let's move that away. Let's take that. I need more space to do my stuff. So let's think, how are we going to do that? Get unique net ID. I got this outgame, this player controller ID. We're going to loop through that. We're going to loop through every players in the game instance. We're going to say, hey, we're going to break the structure we created. We're going to say, is the, oh, well, I can say equals, can't I? I can say equal? What does that mean? Maybe I can. Yep, I can convert that, so let's convert that. Let's say, is this equals to that? Let's branch that out. Actually, we are actually looping through all players in the game instance list and saying, hey, am I this player? If I am, let's get that color and let's set that color. And how we do that? Yep, we need to get that thing with this array. We need to set array elements. So actually we don't need that. We need to set array elements of the net player list. So we're going to re-get that just to avoid wires everywhere. So if I myself, we need to set that array element like this because this is a structure, and structure we set structure like this. So we're getting the information of our player controller on the game instance. Let's break that information and we're going to rebuild that information with the new information there. So the new color and our previous net player ID. And I suppose that is doing the trick. This is saving our color. And we're going to do a simple thing to know if that works. We're going to open up our character blueprint in the game. So your third-person character. And when we are setting the name of the player, no, actually, when we are getting, are we getting the game instance? We are not getting the game instance. Let's comment that real quick. Server save player name. Client get save game values. Begin play. Create player and player nameplates. Yep. Create player nameplates. So actually, You might wonder why are we not storing the color in memory. I already told you guys you can do that if you want to save the most the favorite color of that player, but that's two way of saving informations, but different kind of informations. Storing information in the game instance and so storing them in the save game. You don't save the same kind of info, but that's two ways of doing things. Two ways you can make information travel. So where was I? We need to get the game instance here. So we're going to build a new event run on server that will get the game instance. So server get game instance. Actually, no, we're going to register that player on the server. So let's say register player. So server, server register player. It's going to be run on server. And we're going to say, can we get the unique ID here? Yep, we can. So let's say when I have the authority, I can wait a bit, 1 second is enough, and you can say, hey, register player, server register player. So I'm going to command that, register player, and I'm going to open that up. What do we want to do? We want to get our game instance. Get game instance. We want to cast to it, so top-down game instance. This should be your name of your project in game instance, of course. Let's get the player lists, and we're going to do basically the same thing we just did. So maybe I can just copy paste that. I'm going to copy paste that in the outgame player controller. Let's get that. We're going to loop through the net player lists. We're going to say mi get unique ID, get unique net ID. Can I compile? No, I can't. Why can't I? Because that doesn't exist. Because we didn't. That was the game instance value, the game instance variable in which we were setting the player list. But actually, we need to create. We will promote that to a variable. Promote the game instance cast to a variable. We're going to call that character game instance. We're going to put that in the tutorial variable. Little thing. That's it. I'm going to pull that here. And what do we want to do? We want to plug that in this. We want to get the net player lists. And actually, we don't want to do that. We want to get the game instance, store it, get the net player lists, so every player stored in memory. Am I that player? Yes, I am. I don't want to erase the value. We are setting the value. I want to get it. So I already got it. So this is run on server. We're going to create a new variable, player color, promote to variable, and this is going to be called character my color. This is going to be a replicated variable so that everyone will be seeing it. So we're going to set that here instead of erasing the previous color, and we can save. So that says, hey, when a player joins, let's register that player. That basically stores the game instance in a variable that says get all players in memory. Am I that player? If am I, get my color and save it. Perfectly fine, I suppose. So what do we need to do now? We need to apply that color to every player. So when we're creating nameplates, we're basically already getting all characters and we are changing and we're creating stuff for them. We're creating a nameplate for them. Fine, that is fine. We should also change their color based on their variable myColor. So how are we going to do that? It's pretty simple, I think. We got a mesh. You should have a mesh, so we can get the mesh of that character. Let's get the mesh. We can get that. Let's say we want to get the color. Let's say we want to get the material. Get material. And let's say, let's open up, let's click on your mesh in your components. It's supposed to have a skeletal mesh. We don't want that. And it's supposed to have a material exposed as element O. And let's click on that to open up that particular material. Let's open that up. So we get a material. I think we're going to expose a parameter. So we're going to expose something that is called constant tree vector. Constant, how can we expose that to a parameter? I actually never did that, so I might just pause and see how it works. What I want to do is expose a parameter and say, hey, that adds color to that color, and then we're going to change the parameter value in the blueprint. But I'm not quite sure how am I supposed to do that. Maybe I can do that like this. Expose no parameter, collection parameter, dynamic, texture sample, vector parameter. How is it going to be? Texture object parameter? I'm not sure. Parameter name, that's the name. I think I can get that. So I think I can do that with that. Yes, I can. Body color. Yep, I can just do that. So just delete that. Here we got a parameter already exposed. That is name is body color. So we're going to change that color quite easily. Let's save that. So that's the material of our character, obviously. So I think we're good. We can close that. Body color. Actually, we're going to copy paste the name of the parameter right away so we don't make any mistakes. So we're going to get that material. We're going to set parameter. Oh, can't we do that? Material interface reference. Yep, dynamic creates dynamic material instance. We need to do that. Then we need to say, hey, we want to set a parameter value, sets texture parameter value. I believe that was that. Well, let's open that material again. Excuse me, I'm not quite familiar with that. That's a material expression vector parameter. So I believe that's a vector parameter. And texture parameter value, I'm not sure. I'm going to pause to see how it goes and to retrieve that. Sorry for that. Okay guys, actually that was quite easy. I just needed to get the parameter set vector parameter value, to plug my color in that, and to say the parameter name is body color. So it's going to change dynamically the color of the players. So we're going to do that after the set widget node. And I think we can try it out. Oh, create for that mesh. We need to plug the mesh in which we want to create the dynamical material instance value, obviously. Else you won't know what mesh is supposed to change. So I think it should work right away. Let's hit play. We're on menu. Let's host a game. Let's join with one player, browse online game. Let's set my color to red. Let's join with that guy. Let's say I'm yellow. Let's start the game. And let's see how it behaves. I hope we ran all the events properly. I didn't make the... Oh, we're red, we're black, so I think there's a problem in the communication of the values here. So I didn't made the way back through the logic, so that's my bad. So basically, when a player is setting a button on is pressing a button, we are saving the new color, set color. Well, actually I did that. So we change the color dynamically here. On the P state, on the player state, we're storing the value. We're also, well, yep, we plug the wrong color here. Here we wanna plug the new value actually, not the old one. So we want to plug the new player state value, not the one we had in memory, since we are changing the value. So that was the problem, I believe. So if I hit play, we are going to host a multiplayer game to join that. We're going to join that with lots of players to make kind of a rainbow, because we like rainbows, I believe. Well, maybe we don't. Yep, I got a lot of players, lots of colors. Let's start the game. Let's start the game. Let's see how it goes. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, let's continue that logic here where we stopped. So we're on the saving process here. Am I that guy? Are we saving the net player ID? I'm not sure. If we do, maybe that doesn't work. Maybe that doesn't work. Let's add some print, or maybe let's just continue to see if we're getting that information well on the character, on our third person character. When we're creating, yep, I know what we're doing wrong. No, I don't. Maybe that just doesn't work like that. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here with the parameter value. Can we? Actually, we can't, I believe. Maybe there's something wrong here. When we're registering our player, we're getting the top game instance, the top down game instance. Am I that player? If so, store my value. Can we print that actually? Can we print that? Oh yeah, we can. Let's save that. Let's play. Let's see what color he gets. Oops. Oh, solo. That should work actually. Maybe it's going to tell me it's black in solo game since I didn't set my color. Yep, but it doesn't print anything. It doesn't print anything. Why doesn't it? Because we're not storing properly the player net ID, maybe. Net player lists. How are we saving? So in the top-down game instance, let's see how are we storing our players. So we're not storing their net ID, are we? Yes, we are. Get unique net ID. We are doing that. Yep, we should not do that, I believe. We should set the array elements with the number of, and feed that with the number of players. I believe that's going to work. So let's say, as I told you, we should not set structures value like that. We should do set array elements. But the problem is, how do we know what index is that? Well, it's pretty easy. That's the index of the player we just added to the list. So we got a list of names. Let's break that item. Let's make that item, and we're going to store that information here. Let's delete that. Let's say our base color is white with O5 alpha. Let's say that's it. And maybe that should work properly. Let's play. Let's host a multiplayer game. Let's join with this player, actually just one. Let's say I'm red. Let's say he wants to join. Oh, my bad. My bad. Let's join. Let's say, hey, this is Jimmy. Save name. Let's say it's yellow. Let's start the game. Maybe we will have a print that will tell us it works. Maybe we won't. I hope we will. Oh, we don't and it's not working. Well, guys, I'm going to stop there and see what doesn't work and explain to you how what doesn't work and this and that. Okay, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back at it. I made a small break and I spent like 1 hour trying to fix that and it was quite easy. So I stayed on the right thing. So first in the top-down game instance, we were adding that to an array like that, and we won't do that like this. We're going to say set array elements. We're going to take the add pin and plug it into index, and we were getting the net unique ID from our player, and instead we're going to get it from the player state. So to get that, tire plug that get that wire there, the controller, get the player state of the controller, and you can get a wire and say get unique ID player state, and that's what we want. So I'm going to delete that. That's the same thing, we agree. So, and we need to say hey, size to fit. That's really important, so we are good with that. And what do we need? You need to add a delay after that of 0.2 seconds before the player joining is resetted. So just after our element, delay 0.2 seconds. On the outgame player controller, we were doing something when we were setting the color. So when we set the color, we say hey server set color. So we were saying get unique net ID and get that and say hey, this is my net ID to get. No, we don't want that. We want to say hey, get player state. That's not a variable I created. This is a regular variable you can get on any player controller. Say get unique net ID from player states by tiring that wire and plug that in, and you should be fine. It should work. And I did no other change. I believe I plugged the p state player color from here to there. Maybe it wasn't the case, I don't remember quite well. Here you don't want to say size to fit, you don't want to say that. We're setting the color, we're fine. And I think maybe when we register, maybe there's something to do. I'm not quite sure. No, because we are calling the thing on the game instance. Yes, we're getting the player ID. And on the player character, so on the third person player character, when we register the player, we want to do like we did. We want to get the player state and get the unique net ID. I think before we were doing something like get unique net ID and we plug that. Actually, we don't want that. We want to delete that, and you want to do that and get that and plug that in. That's how you get the unique net ID. That's not how I was doing it, I believe. Actually, that's what I understood from what I've seen on the internet. So that's what we do, and that is supposed to work, I believe. If you hit save, hit play, we can host a multiplayer game. We can join with other players. I removed some of the print we had, so it's going to be red. We're going to join with everyone, doing the rainbow I was talking about. I'm going to go red, blue, green, yellow, and everyone should have the proper color. So it's going to be blue, it's going to be green, and this one is going to be yellow. So I'm going to start the game, and I hope everything's going to be fine because everything was just before I checked, when I checked. So are we of the nice color? This one is supposed to be red, this one blue, green, and yellow. So that works. I believe that's going to wrap that video. That's going to wrap things up for this video. Um, in the next video, we will see what the to-do list says. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry for all the problems we had. Hope you enjoyed it anyway, and hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.